All right, I've got good news for you tonight, and an update on the insider threat situation, the second one in Lynn Haven. And I also have a few thoughts that I want to share about the assassination of Charlie Kirk, the political activist and journalist who was speaking and taking questions on the campus in Utah. So I've got some thoughts on that. I've got some thoughts on the political climate here. And I'm going to break all this down for you, show you a lot of video of the commissioners themselves talking about the insider threats, and some interesting comments from people who made public comments at last night's meeting. All that coming up right after this.
Strong, effective leadership. 3 words that could mean the difference between prison and your freedom. I'm Al Stallene, your Panama City Beach lawyer. 850-215-0628.
You want to look good? You want to feel good? Little John's Big and Tall is where it's at. Right across the street from Sky's Pizza Pie, 5700 North Davis Highway. You can find out more online at littlejohnsbigandtall.com. He's also a member of the iTex trading community, where your iTex dollars are welcome.
All right, so why don't I just start off with the Charlie Kirk stuff? So if you've seen the video, it's horrific. And look, I've had threats, as I worry about this stuff a lot. All right. And when I see such a good person, the best among us, the kindest, the most respectful, get assassinated, it's a big deal. I don't want to spend too much time on this, actually, but I will tell you that when the president himself narrowly avoids this, and there's a second attempt, and we don't know jack about it, and then this happens, I've got questions. And the one word that keeps bouncing around in my head is flashpoint. This is a flashpoint. There is a lot going on. I think there's real spiritual warfare going on. I know every generation probably feels that way. But I'm concerned. I'm concerned about what I'm seeing locally, what I'm seeing nationally, and that is false accusations against people. When you continually do what the Nazis did and you dehumanize people, right? Let's say you call the Lynn Haven voters, you call them squawking, what was it? Squawking birds. Help me out in the comments. When you dehumanize, like the sheriff did, Sheriff Ford, who was mad about the first recall of petition gathering of the mayor, Jesse Nelson, back in July and early August. I didn't think they were going to get the right amount of required signatures the first go round. They were short. And then about 3 or 4 days left, Sheriff Tommy Ford calls the Lynn Haven voters less than human and insults them and says, this is not who we are, and tried to interfere with that election activity. I was surprised that the recall committee did surpass the number of signatures, but they made a mistake and they were thrown out because of a date issue, right? So then the recall committee doesn't give up and they do it again. And by the way, they surpassed the number of signatures in 3 weeks. They needed 1,530. They need 1,530 signatures for the recall of Mayor Nelson to move on to the next step. Tomorrow, about 3 weeks into the 4-week process, the recall committee is turning in 1,750 signatures early. So the recall chairman, James Finch, will be bringing and handing these off to the city manager, the interim city manager, Chief Lightfoot, tomorrow. Chief Lightfoot then will deliver them to the supervisor of elections. And then if they're validated, then it moves on to the next step. Okay. But when you have the sheriff dehumanizing people, intimidating people, like, of course, surrounding our home, and when you have what I consider an organized effort, a campaign, like the goofy podcast, the Ron Keel podcast, with all of the veiled death threats and all the other bullshit, some goofy podcast in a Porsche and threats, like, that's going to slow me down? What do you think? And then when you have the mayor himself at his church giving a sermon and telling people to show up for a prayer gathering at City Hall, at the park by City Hall, so that Satan doesn't have victory. So when you call citizens and residents Satan, racist, Nazi, fascist, when you dehumanize them, you are in, and when you try to set them up with false accusations, like saying, oh, he attacked kids, like the goofy podcast would say all kinds of stuff like that. I said, look, I know combat veterans that don't like this whiskey and war talk stuff, or whatever the hell they were doing. So what do they twist that? Oh, it's an attack on veterans. They've accused Jody, of all people, of attacking a child. And the mayor and Tony Bostic are having sit-ins at the state attorney's office calling for the arrest of Jody. And they don't have video of the incident, of course. When you have Fane Wynn trying to bait me into punching him at City Hall when he did the belly bump on me, and and all the cops are standing there rubbing their hands together after they had just spoken with him at the first Panama City Town Hall. You think I'm going to fall for that? They are inciting violence. They are terrified that just like in Mexico Beach, that whatever they're hiding is going to be revealed. The truth is going to be revealed in Lynn Haven. Mayor Nelson's is going to get recalled. Vicky Gainor has been fired, and now she keeps being escorted in by the insider threats, Jennifer Hodges, the high-ranking manager, and with the approval, it turns out, as you're going to see, of the interim city manager, Chief Lightfoot, and according to the city commissioners, a letter from the attorney, Amy Whiteout Myers, directing them to do so, or recommending that they do so, according to them. I can't wait to see the letter. Remember, this is the same attorney, Amy Whiteout Myers is the nickname, because in late 2020, early 2021, she was the city attorney in Panama City Beach. And the FBI wanted to know what the hell was going on at Popeye Park when the city stole property that belonged to the low water owners to build a park for the former mayor, Mike Pay-to-Play Thomas, for his family. And so the FBI wanted the plat, the 1962 plat. And I have it. I've shown it. I've done shows. I've shown it to you. The city attorney gave the FBI a plat, a copy of the plat that was altered. And I mean significantly altered. I showed the real plat. I showed the alterations that city attorney Amy Whiteout Myers gave to the FBI. Nothing, of course, happened. I went and I made public comments and I asked the city attorney, do you deny this? They didn't deny it because they did it. And this is the same city attorney that wrote a letter of recommendation to let a plaintiff, soon to be, Vicky Gainor, the fired city manager, into City Hall to leave with documents, to leave with papers. We don't know what she left with, but she told us, and at the meeting yesterday, she made public comments. Wait till you see this. And interim city attorney Chris Lightfoot says the majority of what she took were her personal effects. Now, everybody knows this is insane. This happened the day after she was fired, and then it happened more than a month after she was fired. They said she didn't have access to her computer. She was in the room in an office with Jennifer Hodges with the door closed. We don't know if they were on the computer or not, but they claim they printed copies. All of this should be discoverable. None of this is normal. Everybody knows it's wrong. Some people will excuse the first time that she was brought in, but the second time, as one person said succinctly, didn't sit right, didn't sit the same. All right, so when you have those who are supporting Jesse Nelson and Vicky Gaynor, and Sheriff Ford, evidently, dehumanizing and saying that you're full of hate. Only one side of this debate locally is calling the other side vicious names while wearing their religion on their sleeve. The other side is not saying that they're hateful or they're racist or they're Satan. They're saying that they're inept. They're saying that they're possibly corrupt. I'll say corrupt. I've seen testimony. I've seen Vicky Gaynor talk to a federal judge. I've read what she told the FBI in sworn 302 statements, false statements. How do you know they were false, Bernie? Because she told the FBI one thing on a 302, which is their investigation memos or their interview memos, and a completely another story to the federal judge, Mark Walker, on the witness stand. I saw it. You didn't. It was unbelievable. So when you have that kind of language nationally and locally, you are dehumanizing and vilifying people like me, like the Beacon of Bay County, like the recall committee, like all the people who signed, the majority of, well, we'll see if it's the majority of voters or not, but it's significant. When you vilify people like that, when you convince people that I'm racist, or which is, how I feel about that, or I laugh at such stupidity, and I've said it before. Look, I've spoken with Tony Bostic again on the phone since our video phone call, and I told him, I said, Tony, look, man, I'll dunk on, I'll dunk on you as fast as I'll dunk on a white guy. I don't give a shit. If you're wrong, you're wrong. And he said, you know what he said? Well, if you're standing on the truth, Bernie, that's exactly right. Now, he disagrees with me what the truth is. Fine. But they did mention me at the altar, or at the altar yesterday. And so I'm going to show you some of the things that were said. But there is a real push to vilify and dehumanize people, to make you look like a real hateful person. And that can lead to what happened today in Utah. Now, I think there might be a whole lot more to that story, but I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right now. But I will tell you that when good people are told lies about other good people, and enough anger foments, and you start nudging people to do harmful things. That's why I'm on high alert all the time. So that's enough of the Charlie Kirk thing. What an awful, awful flashpoint in American history. But I want you to notice who is impugning the other side's motives, and who is criticizing public officials. Also, I do see something happening, and I think it is a skit. I think people have scripts, and I'll show them to you in just a moment because I'm going to show the comments. And that is there's sort of this weird, and it's going to be futile and stupid, attack on, quote, social media influencers. I guess that's me. It is unbelievably stupid. There was a comment on this page just the other day. Let me show you. And it still cracks me up. Let's see, right here. And so I posted this. So a guy who I don't know, I don't think I've ever met, David Schweitzer, he made a comment the other day. I guess it was Monday. And he says, fake news from TV show again. I guess that's me. This Facebook page is nonsense, and I'm one more BS story away from unsubscribing. To which I said up top there, right? I screenshotted that. I put it on. And I said, this account, I forgot the word is not going to unsubscribe. You know why? Because I'm giving him the boot. I'm not waiting for him to unsubscribe. You're going to wait for one more BS post? You're gone, Jack. You're gone. All right. So I posted that. But this dude comes up to the city commission meeting yesterday, the real David Schweitzer, and his public comments are all about social media influencers, I suppose. And he talks about me. He talks about that at the city commission meeting, as though I've done something wrong to ban him from the page. So what I'm going to do for David Schweitzer is I'm going to unban him from the page because he told on me. All right. He told the authorities. He told Mayor Nelson. He told Pat Perno, the commission, all of them. So I'm going to unban him. And then I'm going to ban him again just because it feels so damn good. I'm going to unban him and I'm going to ban him again. I might do that every day until Mayor Nelson's out of office. I might ban David Schweitzer more than I've ever banned anybody from this page. So, David, when you're back on, when I unban you, better hurry up and get a comment in there because I'm going to ban you again, and then you can go tell on me again. Oh, my God, this is so crazy. Tony Bostic went up and spoke, and he said that this page is unvetted. He said that there's more bad information than good information. The Goofy podcast, they were they were talking about how does the community allow a social media page to give false information. Are you all crazy? Are you all absolutely crazy? Look, the First Amendment, I'm going to tell you this because I've been involved in lawsuits like this. All right. You can believe me or not. You can challenge me or not. I'm just telling you. When any citizen or a journalist, in other words, anybody, makes a public comment, correct or incorrect, about a public figure or a public official or a city commission meeting or matters of public interest involving local government, that's the most protected speech there is. And it's not just protected if you're right. That's why you get to say all the dumb shit you get to say. And I get to do it too. It can be inflammatory. It can be hyperbolic. It can be wrong. And you're not going to vet it. You're not going to collate it. You're not going to do anything. You're going to deal with it. Just like we're going to deal with your nonsense. That's how it works in America. Welcome to America, baby. So you're not going to believe the people going up there and complain. You got to do something about the social media influencers. Man, watch this. This is so crazy. The craziest stuff I've ever seen. They are desperate because Mayor Nelson, I mean, the voters that Tommy Ford can't stand, the sheriff that he dehumanized, they have already 1,750 signatures. They only need 1,530. They got them in 3 weeks, not 4. They're all being turned in early tomorrow. Mayor Nelson is not going to be the mayor much longer. So we might be seeing the insider threats bringing him in so he can bring all of his documents out. Let's just take a look at the meeting yesterday. Damn, I took too long on that. Oh, boy. All right. Oh, this is David Schweitzer. I've never met him. But because he made these comments yesterday, I'm going to unban him and ban him again.
Good evening. In my opinion, there are 3 influential social media sites locally: Beacon of Bay County, The Bernie Thompson Show, and Lynn Haven Neighbors.
Not the 850 podcast. You better be careful. Start sending drones and all the Brovet stuff. This guy, I've never met this guy. I don't know this guy. But clearly he has a script.
I'm sure there are more, but those are the 3 that I've used. I was booted from the Beacon of Bay County over a year and a half ago, and I commented, "Leave the mayor alone. He's a good guy." That's all I remember saying. Maybe there was more, but I don't think so. Just last night, I was booted from the Bernie Thompson Facebook page. She showed.
You're damn right. And I'm going to bring you back, and I'm going to boot you again. And then the next day, I'm going to unban you, and I'm going to ban you again. David Schweitzer, whoever you are, since you want to go tell the council on me, commission, I'm going to ban you more than I banned anybody else from this page.
A video of Vicky Gainor in City Hall for an hour and a half the day after she was fired. Bernie pontificated on the video. This is like Watergate.
It was a joke. Jokes are not funny. Jokes are not funny.
He said Vicky Gainor snuck into the building. He said that she was snuck in by internal threats. He said that she was unaccompanied most of the time.
I said she was unaccompanied some of the time, not most of the time. She was in there for an hour and a half. Okay? But she was unaccompanied for too long.
And I think he said she was there to take documents. So
I said she took papers, and yep, she might have taken documents too. We don't know what she took.
After watching the video, I posted that Vicky on his site, Vicky was authorized in the building.
How did you know?
She watered the plants. I took a little liberty there because she emptied her cup of water.
She emptied her. He said she watered the plants. She was drinking something and she poured it out in the plant.
Into a plant. I think the spirit tells me she prayed in a circle there with 2 other employees.
Well, the spirit didn't have to tell you that. The video showed Gerard Holton, the HR director, Jennifer Hodges, who was the acting city manager the day after she was fired, and Vicky Gainor standing in a circle holding hands. And Vicky was talking to both of them. And Gerard was nodding his head or shaking his head no. And it could have been a prayer. Who knows what it was? Who knows?
For 5 minutes. She was unaccompanied, but only for 4 minutes. I used my little stopwatch.
They were walking back and forth. Some of it is impossible to measure.
For 4 minutes and a few seconds,
okay,
not most of the time, and she did not have computer access. Let's talk about...
She had computer access, though, August 21st. She went into Jennifer Hodges' office, and they closed the door, and they were in there for a significant amount of time. And the IT people, they should be looking at what was printed and what was done on the computers during that time.
credibility or lack thereof. On another occasion, the Brittany Thompson Show created and perpetuated a story that our mayor made an illegal contribution.
Created and perpetuated a story that the mayor made an illegal contribution. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. He has the right to be wrong in America. This is a public comment about matters of public interest involving a public figure, me. Okay, about what goes on in City Hall. This dude has the right to be wrong about everything he says. But did I create and perpetuate that story? Oh my God, how are these people so stupid? This is from bayvotes.org, okay? This is the campaign treasurer report. And on July 17, it shows that Mayor Jesse Nelson made a $3,000 donation to the church for which he is the pastor. How did I create and perpetuate that? I reported that. And he was still within the statute of limitations for the crime that is. Here's Florida statute 106.141 4A2. All right. And basically what this says is a candidate is prohibited from donating excess campaign funds to a board for which he is on the board or employed by the nonprofit. To a nonprofit for which he's on the board, or if he's employed. He's employed. He is paid to be the pastor. Okay. This clearly violates statute. But Jesse Nelson, the mayor, and I have not double checked this. I really wish y'all would help me and send a public record request to State Attorney Larry Bassford's office and ask for any and all, because this guy says he did. And Larry Bassford said, oh, no, you didn't do anything wrong. Mayor Nelson says he never made any contribution at all. No donation at all. It was just, there was some kind of problem with the system, is what he says. I mean, I just created and perpetuated a false. You got to see this again, this dude, David Schweitzer. Look, he's reading a script in this play, this theater.
To a plant. I think the spirit tells me she prayed in a circle there with two other employees for 5 minutes. She was unaccompanied, but only for 4 minutes. I used my little stopwatch for 4 minutes and a few seconds, not most of the time, and she did not have computer access. Let's talk about credibility or lack thereof.
Yeah, please.
On another occasion, the Brittany Thompson Show created and perpetuated a story that our mayor made an illegal contribution to his church with access campaign funds. Remember that doozy? This story was posted on his.
Remember that dude can't even read it right because he's reading somebody else's words. He says access instead of excess.
4 minutes and a few seconds, not most of the time, and she did not have computer access. Let's talk about credibility or lack thereof. On another occasion, the Brittany Thompson Show created and perpetuated a story that our mayor made an illegal contribution to his church with access campaign funds. Remember that doozy? This story was posted on his site. It was propagated on a Facebook recall page and repeated by James Finch's daughter recently in a heated city committee.
You're going to attack family. This is what they would do with them. You're attacking family. This is what attack our family. You better bring a witness, bro. If you attack family, going down the wrong road, bro. Anyway, these people are so weird, man. That's what the document says. I'm going to unban and ban this dude like 3 times in the next few days.
Mission meeting. It's a fake story, completely hogwash. When I originally heard the story, I thought that this is so obscure.
Yeah. When did you originally hear it? If I broke it and you originally heard it on my show, it was already, according to the mayor, it was already investigated before. When did you really hear it? And who wrote this for you?
I emailed this state attorney office who had conducted the interview, and they emailed me a report.
Conducted the interview? What interview? Look, will somebody please do this for me and send a public record request to the state attorney Larry Bassford's office ask for any and all digital copies of emails and attachments and documents between the state attorney's office and David Schweitzer. Let's find out if he even sent an email, what he's talking about, because I don't doubt that Bassford investigated this and then said there's nothing there. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Come to find out, there was never a contribution made. And you, in order to believe this story, you have to believe that Jesse, our mayor, Jesse Nelson.
Hold on one second. If there was never a contribution made, this is the campaign treasurer's report. Is this submitted under oath, under attestation? So either there was $3,042.62 donated to Macedonia Baptist Church on July 17, 2023. Or if there was not, why is it on here? Either way, that's a problem. Am I right or wrong? It's a doozy.
The state attorney office and the Ameris Bank corporate lawyers are.
Ameris Bank corporate lawyers. Is that Doug Moore, Commissioner Doug Moore? Am I right, babe, or not? Ameris Bank corporate. How does this guy know what the Ameris Bank corporate lawyers? Yeah, thank you, Miss Sarah Moon. What is this? Yeah, I want him to tell on me again. What is new writing position for Mockingbird propaganda? Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I can't even. All right, so let's get. I got so much to show you. I got to get to this. So anyway, let's get back to doofus here. Oh, you can't say that on social media. There's some kind of weird attack on social media influencers going on. Tell me if you think that's going to slow me down.
In cahoots with each other to keep Mayor Nelson in office.
Yeah, that's right.
All because Bernie didn't do any due diligence.
Do you know? Look, I'm going to show you what no due diligence looks like. All right. I got to stop with this. I really do. I got stuff to show you. This is what no due diligence looks like. This is what no due diligence looks like. Also, all the time I spoke with attorneys about it. That's no due diligence. Could you imagine just reading scripts like this?
And I was able to disprove it with one email.
Wow, amazing.
So I've come here tonight to ask social media influencers to be part of our city's solution and not compound our problem.
No, and I'm not doing that. You know why? I do what I want. That's why. I'm going to be part of this, your solution. You crazy? Don't tell me what to do, pal. Miss Sarah Moon will tell you. I do what I want. I got to hear this guy tell me what to do again.
And not compound our problems with fake stories. I ask city leaders to lead the city out of this quagmire of distrust, both of the city and local social media influencers. We need you to be more vocal in the community. We need you to be more active on social media. We need you to tell us what's happening. We need you to fill in the gaps. We need you to raise the bar, and we need you to tell us the truth. Thank you.
That's a lot of stuff he needs. All right, I can't anymore with that. All right, the next speaker I want you to hear is none other than Vicky Gainor herself. Her lawyers came up. Her lawyers came up because they're letting a future plaintiff into secure areas of the. Here's Vicky Gainor. Let's see what she has to say.
So interesting that people can stand here and tell lies and not tell the truth, but I will tell you the truth. The things that you want to know that I took, please take your pencils and start to write them down. My FRS retirement documents, those are my personal ones. I worked for the school system for 17 years. That's what I took. My evaluations, my personal ones, that's what I took. My pension documents, I took those. All these are personal documents that belong to Vicky Gainor. And that plant was actually given to me by Miss Lois Miller. They replanted it. I left it here for the city. Okay? From my office, I took plaques, all my degrees, photos, books, a signed book by Bobby Bowden, my photo with Bobby Bowden. I left the chili cook-off plaque because every year you give it to whoever wins the chili cook-off. Didn't take that. My picture I painted. Let's see what else. Jennifer sat down and went over my benefits with me like she would any other employee. What is so bad about that, people? And Ms. Tender, to say you want to arrest me for Jennifer meeting me at the door, walking me into my office, me getting my things, putting them in boxes and taking them home is absolutely ludicrous. What is this world coming to that you can treat two people so differently? I am absolutely blown away by what I've heard. And you guys should be ashamed of yourself because it should not even be like this. Miss V, I am not upset with you. I love you. And if you think I'm upset with you, please forgive me. I am more hurt than anything. That after I've given so much time to this city, you would continue to humiliate me and call me out of my name and accuse me of things that I did not do. You should stop it. And the people who are on these social media pages, I agree with Mr. Switzer. You should stop it.
I'm not going to stop.
We must stop it. But you won't because you can't help it.
Yeah, I'm going to keep
telling
on
you. So you will find out later. But so if there's any other question.
Wait. I'm going to find out what later. That I can't report on public figures. That I can't lampoon public figures about matters of public interest, about controversial issues in local government. You're going to find out. That's what's happening, is y'all are finding out. You can kick and scream all you want. You can come in and take stuff and sneak in and get caught, and I'll be the only one to show you the video. But it's not going to stop. I'm going to continue to tell the people what's going on. I haven't even really given Vicky a nickname because, honestly, I don't even want to get into this because I've seen her do such terrible things and say such terrible things. But no, I'm not going to. I was going to tell you that I've known her for a long time and I haven't given her a nickname. And when I first saw the first indictment, I was hoping that her name was in it, but she wasn't indicted. She's never been indicted. And I was sort of hoping that she was the person doing the right thing. And man, that turned out not to be the case, but enough of that.
Questions of anything you think I took, I will give you this list right here.
We just got to trust her. All right. I want to know from Chris Lightfoot, an itemized inventory list of what hard copies she took, what items she took, and on both the Saturday, July 19, and then later August 21st. I want to know every single thing that she took and stuck on the bottom of the box in her office when she was alone. And I want to know, because Chris Lightfoot said that the majority of it was hers, her personal effects. I want to see a list of the minority of items that were not hers, that belong to the city, as this future plaintiff continues to have unaccompanied access into City Hall, into secure areas, and she's the only person that doesn't have to make public record requests. Try to gaslight us. What the hell is wrong with you people? You guys are nuts. David Schweitzer, you people are nuts. That's why I'm going to ban him and unban him over and over. Never even met this guy. But if he wants to inject himself into the public debate, I'll keep injecting him and then booting him out. You tell on me again. Hey, give David Schweitzer 6 minutes to tell on all the time. That's how long it's going to take him.
Everybody write it down.
I did, Vicky.
I did your public records request for you.
Thank you. Finally, she didn't do them very well.
Additional public commentary.
Additional public commentary. Here's Tony Bostic. Now I'm going to forward just a little bit to the good stuff. 1826. Okay. So basically, 1826. Basically, he's talking about, do the right thing. Y'all didn't do the right thing. He makes some points, some good, some bad. That's what he says about me.
Honest thing to begin with,
Here we go.
you wouldn't be in this position. And as for those social media pages, we know what the Beacon of Bay County is all about. We know what Bernie Thompson's show does.
Easy now.
Sometimes it's good information.
Thank you.
Most of the time it's bad information.
Hey, what? Come again.
And it's not vetted, and that's not a good thing.
Tony, come on. It's not. It's not. Oh my God. Who's going to vet what I do, Tony? I do what I want. You don't know that yet? I comment and report on public figures, on public officials, on local government, on controversial issues, on matters of public interest. The most protected speech there is in America. And I'm going to do it more. And you're not going to vet it. Ain't nobody going to vet it. I can be wrong. You can be wrong. Okay. And I want you, Tony, to keep doing what you're doing. That's what I tell everybody. Keep saying what you're saying, because you know why? Time will reveal who's telling the truth. So I just want to make sure that tell on me all you want. Go tell the principal again, Tony. But I'm not going to be vetted. You ain't going to vet me. I'm going to tell what I believe. The last people that tried to vet me, they fired me, is what they did. It was 2014. I was on the radio station. They said, Bernie, you can't say that. I said, it's true. Well, you can't say it. And they showed me the door. And now I'm here. Unvetted. Maybe I'll do a podcast called Unvetted. Co-hosted by Tony Bostic. How about that? Well, there'd be a lot of cussing on that show, wouldn't there? And all by me, if you notice.
As I always say, if I put something out there, I'll stand on it. If you say I'm wrong, prove me to be wrong. Let's have a conversation.
Let's go to 19.
But I don't see anybody. Be careful about what you say and how you say it.
Yeah. This is interesting, especially after what happened today.
This job.
Look, this is serious stuff now after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, the journalist and the activist. Continuing to call people Nazis and racists and fascists and homophobes and misogynists and xenophobes and attacking people's families, bro, and just all the things you do to vilify people and dehumanize people. You are inciting violence against people. And I don't like what Tony has to say here at the end. I'm not. This is really not okay. But freedom of speech. I want him and everybody to continue to classify yourself in real time.
Ms. Tender, you are here to serve the people. Your personal aspects of this job has nothing to do with it. The problem in Lynn Haven, just like the problem in Bay County, is we've got an idiot for a governor and an idiot for a president, and a lot of you guys are trying to model yourself after that. The difference between the governor and the president,
listen close,
they get afforded the opportunity to do these things just because of the job.
Now, Tony, you're kind of dancing around what you're saying here.
They have. They don't have to live in the same community. You guys do. You have to face your constituents every day. So be careful about what you say and how you say it and who you say it to and who you say it about, because everybody will respond to you. Thank you.
Additional public commentary.
All right, cool. Additional public commentary. Let's get to
Dr. Rivers, 1502 Massachusetts Avenue, Lynn Haven, Florida.
Interesting.
A run at the
comments,
end of the month.
What I want to do.
There's the letter.
All that comes down.
Okay, so here's what I have left for you right now. Okay, what I'm going to share with you now is what the commissioners had to say about the insider threats. They hate when I say insider threats. It's not vetted. So guess what? I will capitalize. Tell me what to do. All right, watch.
How it's done, we need to change the policy.
So this is Sam Peebles talking about the Vicky Gainor coming in and leaving with documents and having access to a computer as she's setting up a lawsuit. She's sitting with 2 lawyers right now, and this is what they say about her coming in.
Person today, I have a work engagement that wouldn't allow me to be there, but I'll be back at the next meeting in person. So thank you for everyone that's held down the fort at the city. I guess really the main thing I want to talk about is, you know, there's been a lot of talk about the video on 8/21. And after I have been in contact with Chris Lightfoot about it, and he's explained it, showed me the letter from the lawyers. So I think really what it comes.
The letter from the lawyer. Now, this is important. Can somebody help me? Make a public record request for the letter from the lawyer requesting that Vicky Gainor have access to City Hall during off hours. Don't you think the people ought to know what City Attorney Amy Whiteout Myers is advising the city to do with a stated future litigant sitting in the gallery with 2 attorneys who have stated they both came up and spoke during this meeting and announced that there's pending litigation. We're her lawyer. We're representing her. And these people continue to allow her access even into secured areas unaccompanied. And there's a letter from the attorney. My God, that sounds like a bar complaint. That is not represent. Who's your constituent, Amy? Vicky or the people? The city? The defendants? This is unbelievable. So, yeah. So people said, I understand there's a letter that recommended it from the city attorney to Chris Lightfoot. Chris Lightfoot, the chief, has told us it's okay. So therefore, he doesn't have a brain.
Down to is I believe that under policy it was allowed, but you know, it's really if we want change, we need to change how that's done. We need to change the policy, not necessarily go on a witch hunt or anything like that.
All right. So no witch hunts, says Peebles. We're just going to allow future plaintiffs in because we would never want to have witch hunts, he calls it. All right. Let's hear what
So that's just kind of my opinion on it and everything they're doing.
I'm going to say, I would yield that we would have something more firm in the future as a policy or a procedure. So, that's as far as I'll go on that.
Wait, hold on. That's part of that.
The policy. So if we like things how they are, cool. Let's keep the policy the way it is, whatever that may be. If we want to see something different in the future, cool. We update the policy. We just need to hone in on what we want the policy to be. That's kind of just all I had to say about that. I appreciate everyone coming to the meeting, coming up, speaking public commentary. I appreciate the staff and everything they're doing. It's a crazy time in the sports complex with fall ball and all that. It's a lot of fun. So I appreciate what everyone's doing. Thanks.
All right, Commissioner Perno.
Thank you, Mayor. I feel like the video of the 8/21. I spoke to City Manager Lightfoot. I understood when he told me that there was an attorney's request involved. So
again, I want residents of Lynn Haven, taxpayers, to understand the commissioners are saying that the city attorney has a letter. You know who never got the letter? Commissioner Judy Tinder never got the letter. Was the letter just given to Chris Lightfoot? And then Chris Lightfoot says, go ahead, Jennifer Hodges, and sneak her in after hours again. Go ahead and close the door. In fact, let her in to secured areas and then walk away. They say that's okay. And they also say, you're going to hear Chris Lightfoot lie I hate to say this because people like him. He's going to lie and say she was never anywhere in there unaccompanied. That is a lie. I'm going to post the video and show you. All right, let's go hear what the other ones have.
Was it the best thing to do? Was it good optics? I'm gonna say I would yield that we would have something more firm in the future as a policy or a procedure. So,
well, this is a good question. Are they talking about Vicky's attorney, Alvin Peters, had an attorney request that Vicky come in and get what she needs, or was it the city attorney? I assumed it was the city attorney. There would be a major problem with that, but it would be a bigger problem, wouldn't it? If the current interim city manager and the city commission is okay with a future litigant, they've already announced it, with their attorney is now telling the city manager and the commission that his clients that are going to sue the city get to come in there after hours and be unaccompanied in unsecured areas and leave with documents, and then you have to believe what the plaintiff says she took. That's how this works. This is why it's an insider threat. Everybody knows it's an insider threat. There's a friggin' lawsuit. This is an insider threat, and everybody knows it, and they're all lying about it. John, I think that on August 21, I think the cameras were disabled. If you notice, it was a different view. I think they claimed the water damage destroyed the video surveillance, the security cameras. But somehow there was a ceiling camera. Is that a city security camera? I don't know. But I had the sense that they didn't know that camera was going, or that it was right above them. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I don't know. But they didn't give a flip. All right, let's hear what Commissioner Warwick has to say.
That's as far as filling the vacancies our department has.
And the
Saturday. Yeah, Women's Health Fair also. That's on October.
What's going on with Commissioner Jamie Warwick? If he were in The Wizard of Oz, which character would he be? That's actually good. Every one of them would probably be one of the characters. I think I know what he's lacking.
October 3rd. I would encourage people to go out. I'm sure every one of us have a loved one or a friend or someone close to them that has been affected by cancer. It seems to be more and more common. And the big thing is prevention. And I'm sure there's a lot of great information at this event. You never know, you might learn something that could save your life or could save someone else's life. So I would encourage you to go out to that on October 3rd from 10 to 4. And then the breakfast is on the 4th from 9 to 12, where they got a couple speakers, but you got to register. Make sure you register for that. There's limited seating. So I had the pleasure
when is it going to talk?
on, gosh, what day was it? And so I was fortunate to be there at that event, and any resident, wherever they'd like to meet, where they feel most comfortable. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Jeez, I'm sorry. We must have addressed it first.
During and
To save someone else's life. So
what the heck?
I would encourage you to go out to that on October 3rd from 10 to 5. I have my time with the commissioner at Slim Chickens on the 20th of September. It's at
I thought
in the building is it was
I thought he addressed
the city of Lynn Haven.
Okay, I at some point in this meeting, he said I spoke to Chris Lightfoot, and Chris Lightfoot said it was cool in the gang, and so I defer to Chris Lightfoot. That was his position.
Know that we are going in the right direction. It might seem like we're all over the place. It might seem like we're just clowns up here running back and forth, but we are going in the right direction. A couple things I would like to mention is I think our biggest problem with this situation and Ms. Gaynor coming in the building is there was a total lack of communication. Total lack of communication. No one ever told me that she was coming back in or had been given.
Everybody else clearly knew. Look, Amy Myers, the city attorney, is a wreck over there, and I know her body language. I've dealt with her for 10 years now.
Instruction by her attorney or anything else to get her records or whatever. I mean, I've never been told that. So when you look at the whole thing and you go, well, she's coming in the side door, we're closed, blah, blah, blah. It all looked very suspicious. It looked sneaky. It didn't look
Commissioner
like it was
Warwick's
official
annoyed with
business. It
Judy
didn't look
Tinder.
like
Look at him.
we were doing something different than that. And I think the way things are done in the future for that kind of thing, I think the commission should be aware so that we're not at the top of the list going, oh my God, what's going on? And it's just lack of communication. And like the last meeting I asked who knew, and everybody pretty much knew that she was coming here. I'm not sure why we did it after hours or on Saturday or whatever. But that's not even here nor there. If you can't communicate, if we don't understand what's going on, then we're sitting there with everybody else going, holy cow, picture's worth 1,000 words. And you're all, and everybody, including me, I was going, what in the heck? But I'm also going to say it had nothing, absolutely nothing for me to do with her color. Nothing.
We don't need to say that.
Vicky Gainor and I sat down right after she was hired as a grant writer with Joel Schubert,
right.
and I'm going to.
All right. So, do you know who recommended Vicky Gainor? If I remember right, it was Mayor Anderson. I believe she recommended her at a stressful time. That's so interesting if my memory serves. Anyway, let's see what Chris Lightfoot has to say about all this. All right.
Now, if people show up again,
All you have to do is call and ask.
Okay, here we go. Here's the
not how I should find out either. So I think we just need to be transparent with everybody. And there's probably 100 other things I'd love to say, but that's all I'm going to say. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, commissioners. Interim city manager.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Tender, if you ever have questions, all you have to do is reach out. All of the other four, they called or emailed to ask questions when a video came out. But if you receive a public records request, all you have to do is call and ask the questions before it gets sent on. We can answer anything that you have. But they all reached out. On August 19th, I received a letter from Ms. Gainor's attorney.
Whoa! Ho, ho, ho. Babe, you were right. By the way, those are the 3 most important words you can tell any woman. Just if you say, Bernie, how did you end up with Miss Sarah Moon? Yeah, goof like you. The answer is, I know the magic words. It's not, I love you. It's, you were right. And boy, does she love that. So exactly. Holy smokes. This is I didn't even catch this. On August 19, isn't that an interesting date? Holy smokes. August 19, he received a letter from Vicky Gainor's attorney. That would be Alvin Peters. The defendants in a future lawsuit allowed the plaintiff, this is the literal definition of inside threat, allowed the plaintiff, look at Judy Tinder. Commissioner Warwick's freaking out that everybody's finding out right now because he's trying to keep everything secret along with Mayor. Look at the mayor. He doesn't have long there anyway. He's a short timer. Oh my God. Let's hear what do you hear this? I can't even believe this part.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Tender, if you ever have questions, all you have to do is reach out. All of the other four, they called or emailed to ask questions when a video came out. But if you receive a public records request, all you have to do is call and
when a video came out, Chris Lightfoot, you can say the Bernie Thompson show.
ask the questions before it gets sent on. We can answer anything that you have. but they all reached out. On August 19th, I received a letter from Ms. Gainor's attorney. She requested a folder that she had with personnel files, pension payments. Coordinated with Ms. Hodges to come get it. Ms. Hodges brought her in the building. They received the folder, whatever was missing, the evaluations, they printed them off, and she walked right back out of the building, escorted the entire.
How is this normal? So let me ask you this. When a plaintiff sues this, let's say James Finch is suing the city and Vicky Gainor. He's in a lawsuit. They just had a hearing yesterday, by the way. And from what I understand, Vicky Gainor made several motions to dismiss, to say we don't need to do this, don't need to do that, don't need to do the other. It didn't go real well. The lawsuit continues on. I got to ask James Finch if when do your lawyers, James, do they send a letter to the city manager, Chris? James, now that you know Chris Lightfoot is doing this for plaintiffs, I can't wait to show you the video of James Finch being escorted in the side door off hours with Jennifer Hodges and let into secured areas unaccompanied and walk out with a bunch of documents. Can you see James doing that? I can't believe they're trying to pretend this is normal. Listen, he says escorted the entire time. Chris Lightfoot, that is a lie. Why do you continue to lie to the people? That is unbelievable. And you're lying to the commissioners.
18th, I received a letter from Ms. Gainor's attorney. She requested a folder that she had with personnel files, pension payments. Coordinated with Ms. Hodges to come get it. Ms. Hodges brought her in the building. They received the folder, whatever was missing, the evaluations, they printed them off, and she walked right back out of the building, escorted the entire time, as the video shows. But all you have to do is reach out.
Okay. All right. I need to make myself a note. I got all these notes from Vicky when she said take notes. Red marker. This means it's serious. Holy shit. Wait, what was I going to write it again? Escorted the entire time. Lightfoot. What's the timestamp? 1:44. 30, let's say. Lightfoot escorted the entire time. I'm going to put this clip along with the video, that part of the video where she is let in the entire time. And let's see if Jamie Warwick, the commissioner, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where'd Jamie Warwick go? When I show you the video and he's going to say, as the video shows, entire time, as the video shows. You know, you can hear by his cadence. Listen, I've studied a lot about lies. Listen, whenever somebody talks to you this way, it doesn't mean they're lying, but you might want to pay close attention. All right, let's see. Come on now. Listen to this.
All you have to do is reach out, and we will answer any questions that you have.
Interrupted.
I appreciate that, but I also appreciate the fact that we should all be communicated with.
They called or emailed to ask questions when a video came out, but if you receive a public records request, all you have to do is call and ask the questions before it gets sent on. We can answer anything that you have, but they all reached out. On August 19th, I received a letter from Ms. Gainor's attorney. She requested a folder that she had with personnel files, pension payments. Coordinated with Ms. Hodges to come get it. Ms. Hodges brought her in the building. They received the folder, whatever was missing, the evaluations, they printed them off, and she walked right back out of the building, escorted the entire time, as the video shows.
That's unbelievable. Misinformation on the social media influencer pages. You know who's not telling the truth. That's why the propaganda is being ramped up, but it's not gonna save them from a recall. It's not gonna save. Actually, look at Jamie Warwick's. God, look at his body language right there. It's crazy. Judy Tinder's face is cracking me up. You all are being so negligent that you are going to find yourselves personally accountable for this. in these lawsuits. When you're on a board of directors, a municipal board even, you have a fiduciary duty to do the right thing. And you can't continue to say that I'm relying on bad advice when you know it's bad advice. Everybody in the world knows it's bad advice. If you cost the city even more money and you throw the lawsuit for whatever damn reason you're doing it, you could be personally liable. You are failing Jamie Warwick, Pat Perno, Sam Peebles, and Mayor Nelson. Your fiduciary duty to the board and to the city by allowing plaintiffs to come in and take what they want and then lie to us about it. You are looking at insider threats. Look at the attorney on the top. Look at her body language. Damn it, I didn't want to do this long of a show tonight.
All you have to do is reach out and we will answer any questions that you have.
I appreciate that, but I also appreciate the fact that we should all be communicated with at the same time, in the same forum. Send us a letter, do something.
As an operational decision, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Myers, but to let someone gain access to a public record, I don't think we have to send an email out to the commission.
Did you hear how he framed this? Oh my God, now I got to do that too, 145. He just framed this as though it was giving a public record to somebody. This is not, Chris Lightfoot, how I get public records. This was, by the way, Vicky Gainor, she will charge you for voluminous public record requests. By voluminous, it means everything. Did Vicky Gainor have to pay for this public record? He just framed this entire thing as though it was simply providing public records to somebody. And then we're supposed to feel crazy if we don't believe him. And then they have their list of actors in this political theater who come up and read scripts. You all are insane or stupid or on the take or incompetent. Bernie, stop insulting him. Okay, sorry. I mean, this gaslighting is not working. And I've heard Chris Lightfoot is too smart for this. This doesn't look too smart.
I mean, we didn't send an email out to all the commissioners saying Ms. Gaynor was here and not include you. It was whenever a video surfaced, each commissioner reached out.
Hey, the video didn't just surface, Chris. I broke the story. Say my name.
Out via email or phone to ask what the video was about.
Nobody's falling for that shit, Chris. I'm done. I can't. Apple juice. Apple juice. That's what I need. 94 proof. This is the only time I get any vitamin C. Oh, I will wear out a joke. All right, let me. Thank you so much. To those of you, what am I talking about? This is for you. Hey, 20 seconds to get a free subscription, and you will get the weekend email of the shows and of the Facebook post. One email with everything in it, and you don't even need Facebook to watch the shows. It is free. It takes like 20 seconds to subscribe to the weekly email newsletter at bernie.substack.com. I promise that's worth it. And thank you to the Unknown Patriot for your support, as always. And of course, to you, to those of you who throw a tip in the tip jar. And these are the ways you can do that. Patreon.com/Bernie Thompson is as little as $5 a month. The best money you can spend on the internet. And you know this, man. You know that. $5 a month for this. Damn, I'm cheap. I mean, it can be more if you want it to be more. It's easy, it's free, and it's anonymous. It's easy, it's anonymous, and you can quit at any time. It's not free. All right, I'm out of here. I'm tired. Stop making excuses. It is not hard work.